Hart, let's go back in time to just like a few months ago when Jase Richardson was a constant topic of conversation for us. I know that was a time that you greatly enjoyed, and I want to lift your spirits on this Monday morning. Can we talk some Jase Richardson?
Please.
Do you know
Pretty
what
please.
we're going to talk about?
Oh, of course I do.
Do you?
I do, yeah, because you told me.
Well, I did. Yeah, I sent you the list. I feel like a lot of people may not have seen this yet. This kind of like snuck under the radar onto my timeline this weekend. But Jace gave a long form interview with Jack Shoemaker, who has done some awesome player interviews before. I think we've talked about some players he's had on in the past on the channel. But you should all go follow Zach. He does awesome work at underscore SCHUZ underscore. And I think he just does a lot of player interview stuff, among other things. So, anyways, Jase Richardson and Zach Shoemaker talked all things his first year at Michigan State, his process of going to the NBA, and for the first time, some things were said that I don't feel like have gone on record about the way Jase approached last year and how everything sort of took off in the middle of it and changed his outlook for the future. I'm going to play a clip here. This is about, I want to say, a little over a minute from the Zach Shoemaker interview with Jase Richardson. Again, shout out to Zach. This comes from him. Go follow him and watch the full interview.
Do you feel like how productive you were in your freshman season? Do you think that shocked Coach Izzo to any extent?
I think, yes, it definitely
Okay.
did. We had a team meeting. He actually said, "Did I expect Jace to be this good?" No, I did not. So, just kind of coming in, I knew for me, the way to get minutes was to be as efficient as possible and play defense. And I think if I hung my hat on those two things, I was going to be able to keep getting minutes.
Now, how about for yourself? Did you, in the back of your mind, ever expect to have the season that you had?
Absolutely not. I came in with the mindset of try to do as good as possible this year to set myself up for possibly leaving my sophomore year.
Really? So you didn't expect to go one and done then?
No, I did not expect that at all. I didn't come in with the mindset of being one and done. I was thinking I was going to be in college for a little bit longer than a year.
Well, I have to ask you this question then.
I'm gonna stop it right there. You can hear Zach, the interviewer, basically say, "Well, I have to ask you this question then," and he kind of just continues down the path of like, when did you realize you were going to actually go? If you came in with a 2 year idea and that was sort of the dream, when did you realize? And Jace just gives the very honest, generic answer of like, it just got to a point where I was obviously too good and kind of changed everything. So, very humble from Jace. We know he's a great kid, great person. This is no surprise, but first time I've heard Jace go on record with number one, the story that Tom Izzo was saying in team meetings. I had no idea Jace was going to be this good. And then two, that Jace came to Michigan State thinking he'd be there a lot longer than he was, and at minimum saying his goal was put himself in a spot to explode his sophomore year and then leave for the draft. As a Michigan State fan, what are your thoughts on all this? What's the reaction here?
Well, my first thought is I can't believe I got the backlash I did from the Richardson family if Izzo was saying the same thing. What the hell? That's my first reaction. But I mean, I don't know. I like obviously I feel like this was, and maybe you could tell me differently, like there was a sense of surprise at how good Jace was right away. Now, once it got to that point, we were like, all right, especially, once again, I give you credit for this all the time. You did identify it right away that he's special. But I do think there was a level of surprise before he got there, like kind of what he was able to do and how he was able to do it. And I think the part that shocked me out of that, taken from that interview, is that Jace was surprised that he was that good. Like,
Isn't
and
that a
that
fun
that
answer? Any other player in the country would have been like, "Well, yeah, I always thought I could be this good."
yeah, like I always knew like this was my plan right away. Like y'all were surprised. The fact that he was surprised at how good he was, that was the most interesting part of it to me. Also, if you're a Magic fan, you're good, by the way. This is classic. Any Izzo player that comes back and talks about how Izzo's like, yeah, I wanted him to leave. I made him leave. I said he wasn't that good or something along those lines is typically going to be a good NBA player. So you're set there. Congrats.
This is true. Yeah, I love Jase Richardson, man. And there have been players that have come through Michigan State in the past that I have also had an appreciation for as a rival fan. Cassius Winston, how can you not love that kid? I don't know. I don't want to just keep naming names, but there's probably four or five that have transcended the rivalry, and years later, I'm like, that guy was awesome. Jace will always be that type of kid for me. I mean, I just enjoyed watching him hoop so much last year, but now you get more of a sense of the person he is. It's just such a unique, cool story. Number one, given who his dad is, but just two, he was fully bought in on the long term at Michigan State. Not everyone would be. Not every NBA son would come in caring about something like that. And it's all real. Jase was completely bought in on like, I'm a Spartan for as long as needed. I care about this team winning. And then it just so happened that in January, everyone realized, oh, the way to win is to actually make Jase the center of everything. And that led to a change in his career plan. So it's a fascinating story because it's real unique. How many first round picks, one and dones, have ever come through and everyone involved, even the player, been like, yeah, I couldn't believe how good I was. That's just an unorthodox, out of nowhere story. And it's very real. We watched Michigan State every single game. We covered them every single day during the season last year. It went from who is this kid to, oh my God, he's one of the best guards in the country in like a month. And it came completely out of nowhere. So it's fun to hear the player back that up. Can I say something that I would be saying if I were you based on this interview?
Of course.
Should have just came back. And I understand that that's easy for me to say as a rival fan, knowing he's not back and whatever, fine. I'm never going to. This is not me dissing Tom Izzo or Jase or anyone. Kid's living out his dream, first round pick. I'm sure Tom Izzo did the right thing and encouraged him to go. But also, kid fell to the 25th pick in the draft. Kid spent year one waiting half the year to even have anyone, including himself, realize how good he was. And kid approached his entire college career saying, yeah, I mean, in my wildest dreams, I didn't think I'd leave after one. I was fully bought in on hoping by year two. Okay, shit. Then come back. Come back and be the best player in the country. Like, come back, be the best player in the country, be a top 10 pick because you are so undeniably good after being featured from day one in year two. There would be no waiting period. There would be no, like, how good is he? No, he's the baddest dude in the country. And Michigan State actually needs that. It's at a position of need. Michigan State would probably be preseason top 2 in the country if Jase Richardson returned right now, instead of outside of every preseason top 25 there is. And again, I'm not knocking the decision because he's a first round pick. But like, hearing him talk through the process and be so matter of fact about like, yeah, I was shocked I was that good. I really was in for the long haul. I never even thought about this. Then just come back. Right? Like, are you telling me there's not one part of you thinking that as he says this?
No, because I know exactly how this went down. Wasn't his choice.
So you think Tom Izzo said you aren't welcome back?
No, I don't think it was. I don't even think it was Tom Izzo's choice.
Whose choice?
I think it was. I think it was a family decision.
I just totally think that's a misread, and I understand the family has I don't know, some strange, we don't really know what they're thinking stuff to them. Is that fair to say? But like,
Yeah.
I can understand why there might be friction between the family with Jackson's recruitment, or even friction with the family on how Jase was used, any of that.
Wait, but sorry, this I rude me. But why would Jace come back? Like, would it be a money situation or like because he's not going to get taller? I don't think he's going to get anything. And to your point, I think even we talked about this when it first came up. Jeremy Fears is still there, right? Like, I mean, obviously, I would love him to come back, but weren't you kind of like? I feel like we were both kind of on board with like,
Yeah,
go. Like, you're not going to get taller. You're not going to get any. Like, just go.
Going into the draft process, yes, we all felt that way. I think that's why it ultimately went the path he headed. But also coming out of the draft, he was drafted 15 spots lower than I thought he should have been drafted.
Right.
Now, I understand you can't know where you're going to be taken. But if you had told Jase the month before draft night he's going to go 25th, then isn't it more of a conversation? It's very revisionist to do this. But also, I think it's fair to do the revisionist thing when you listen to him actually say in this interview, like, yeah, I wanted to stay at Michigan State for a long. This isn't like, it's not Jaren Jackson blowing smoke. And respectfully to Jaron Jackson, I know he also enjoyed Michigan State. It's easy for the guy that goes fourth in the draft to be like, I loved it there. Wish I could have stayed.
Mhm.
Like, Jace straight up is like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. And then he got taken like fringe first, second round. I just don't like it doesn't feel like it would have been that hard to actually get him back based on what he's saying in this interview. Maybe that's a misread by me, but I don't know. I'm just like, if I were you, that's what I would be saying. If you're not saying that, kudos to you. You're a better man than I am.
Listen, I got you know this, for better or for worse. I got a lot of ass to shake, and I shook it off for Jace. And he ain't want to come back, so it's not much you can do.
Yeah, understood. This interview is awesome. Zach Shoemaker would like the interview of the year from my standpoint. That was sick. Last ask from me to the entire basketball world at all levels, talking high school coaches, fans, NBA GMs, everybody. Can we all stop doubting Jase Richardson?
Please, I'd like to do that.
I never want to hear another interview again that's like, yeah, I never thought I'd be this good. Someone just, I don't even, maybe the kid needs a shot of confidence or something. I don't know. Like, dog, you're good. Why does everyone want to nitpick everything about this kid? He's great. I'm
Right.
screaming it.
Exactly. Please.